Tennis can be a frustrating sport, especially when there are millions of dollars at stake. No wonder some of the players lose their cool on the court. I've seen the worst meltdowns on the tennis court, but none can be as iconic as Nick Kyrgios' meltdown at the 2022 Miami Open. The bad boy of tennis is no stranger to anger outbursts on the tennis court. In fact, he's often seen arguing with umpires, gesticulating at line judges, and smashing half of the rackets that he brings onto the court. I could literally do a whole video about his meltdowns on the court over the past few years.
Kyrgios once again, he's working hard, like he's got reservations and he needs to get to forthwith.
But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be his spectacular display of immaturity at last year's Miami Open. During this unfortunate and bizarre moment, his usual lack of respect for the umpire included smashing his rackets and aiming at a poor fan who was trying to take a selfie. Well, I'm not really surprised here. It's just another example of the usual behavior that he generally tends to play.
They're coming. Well struck.
His disrespectful behavior was also criticized by John McEnroe. That's ironic, because John is also no stranger to such outbursts. This leads us to the next moment, John McEnroe at Wimbledon 1981. Okay, I know there have been bigger meltdowns in tennis since John's Wimbledon meltdown, but you can't deny that it's one of the most iconic moments in the history of the sport. In fact, the famous line, "You can't be serious," has been attached to this star. Even to this day, decades after his retirement. This line is so iconic that he himself used it in his autobiography. He was one of the favorites at that championship. No one really expected him to create such a memorable moment in his first round encounter. In the earlier games in his career, he lost his cool with the umpire. He approached the net and furiously delivered his infamous line.
Chalk flew up! Dude, clearly in! How can you possibly call that out?
His first outburst cost him a warning, but it didn't stop there. He lost his temper again and said some disrespectful words to the umpire, Edward James. He got a penalty point this time. None of this could stop him as he ended up winning the match. Years later, when Edward bitterly recalled the incident, he said that he wished McEnroe would apologize for his behavior. It seems that I've gone a little far back in time with this one. Hold on, the most recent meltdown is as entertaining as this, which is Maria Sakkari at the 2023 Australian Open. World number 6, Maria Sakkari, was recently enraged by Diana Schneider's fist pumps and screams at her during their Australian Open match. You can guess, this made her completely lose her cool during the second round. Diana was leading at the beginning. No wonder Maria looked frustrated during the first round, and Schneider's behavior just added fuel to the fire. She totally lost her cool during the second round. In fact, she warned the umpire that she'll have to call the referee if her opponent screams at her one more time. Luckily for everyone, she was able to bounce back and won the match.
What a win!
After the match, she said that she didn't have any bad feelings for her opponent. She added that Diana was very young and promising and played a wonderful game, along with some wise words for her future. She thinks that maybe Schneider should consider playing pro instead of going to college.
Because your opponent's got too many angles there. Not the right shot to approach on.
What's more, she expressed that it was hard to play with someone you've never seen before on the tour. She did accept the fact that Diana got a bit aggressive, which is something she needs to work on. Are you thinking this was aggressive? Wait until you hear the next one. Serena Williams' outburst at the 2009 US Open. Her ultimate dominance in the game has been absolutely amazing to watch. Just like many top athletes, she's got a winning mentality. Well, this often boils over in the heat of a tense game. This happened in her match against Kim Clijsters during the 2009 US Open semifinals. During an important moment, the line judge ruled that she'd committed a foul. Serena completely lost it here. You won't believe she physically threatened the judge. The situation turned so intense that the umpire had to step in and help calm things down. I know such outbursts are pretty common today in any sport, but intimidating an official had never happened in a tennis Grand Slam tournament before. Serena apologized the next day and vowed to work on controlling her anger on the court due to this high-profile incident. Although there's no excuse for this behavior, the matter was settled with an apology and a fine, and the case was considered closed. She did have a few meltdowns after this infamous 2009 incident, but they were nowhere near the level of controversy this one caused. Speaking of controversy, one of the greatest names in tennis has also had his share of such moments, especially Novak Djokovic's tantrum at the 2015 Shanghai Masters. During his 2015 Shanghai Masters match against Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, Novak reached a boiling point after an overrule by the umpire made him furious. What happened was that at the start of the second set, a ball was called out late, and the tennis star didn't bother to make a play. Obviously, this prompted the umpire to award the point to his opponent. You can tell that he didn't take it well. He started to argue with the umpire that he could easily hit the ball if he wanted to, and the umpire claimed that the actual call came after he'd hit his shot. His call was later corrected by the line judge. In the very next round, Tsonga shot a slice backhand. This was challenged and ended up being on the line. Clearly, Novak again had a play on the ball here, and he could have easily returned the shot, but the umpire awarded another point to Tsonga. This enraged Djokovic, who went on to rant throughout the entire change of end. That's one hell of a situation. But wait, the tennis world has a few more interesting moments, just like Xavier Malisse at the 2005 Miami Masters. It's one thing to stop a match for a tennis tantrum. It's quite another thing if the whole game gets paused after a 2-year-old unexpectedly takes over the court. Xavier took over the role of a toddler at the Miami 2005 Masters, and the court served as his crib. It seemed that he was upset with a line call and wanted to draw attention to the mention. When he couldn't get his desired results, he thought that acting it out would put him in a powerful position. Before court kicking and destroying a number of rackets, he actually decided to lay down on the line and totally refused to play. Luckily, the chair umpire had to step in and play the role of a good parent. He simply ignored him long enough for Xavier to stand up and draw more attention. This one is hard to beat for sheer unexpected immaturity. Well, the last one has us reconsidering our previous statement. Now, the meltdowns have taken a whole new level of seriousness. Lleyton Hewitt's outburst at the 2001 US Open. At the 2001 US Open, Hewitt took things to a whole new level when he got more than just personal with a linesman. Although he later claimed, "I am not racial in any way," the record speaks for itself. The thing is, when he serves, he usually crowds the baseline. He's rarely been called for the foot fault. Not many players get penalized for it, but it was different this time. His response surprised everyone. The most telling of the comments came when the tennis player pointed to James Blake and then at a black linesman saying, "Tell me what the similarity is." Not racist? At the very least, it's difficult to rationally explain or defend. These were some moments when tennis players went too far with their actions. If you like this video, please comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.